We've got a guest on today.
Yes, do you want to introduce our
very
guest?
Good, yeah.
Dom Gleeson, and Dom Gleeson is the Torquay football coach. And welcome, Dom.
G'day, everyone. Thanks for having me, boys. It's good to be on.
How are your players feeling? What's their motivational levels like since that return to training date has come about?
Yeah, look, it'd be great to talking to you right now and say we're 8-1 or coasting along pretty well, but not having played a game. So just to answer the question, it's been hard in regards to motivation level. Early days was quite good because we just didn't know how long the pandemic would last. So we put some little criteria and little competitions in place that just through our Facebook page, paired them up in pairs, obviously, and had a kick, and then we set some conditioning. And early days, it was looking really promising that we might get back sooner rather than later. But as it turned out, it lasted a little bit longer than I certainly envisaged. And so the challenging thing for the committee and the coaching group is to keep the guys motivated. Conditioning-wise, they're very a healthy group, an active group anyway. So, whether it's surfing or going for a ride or surf life saving or anything along those lines. So fitness should be an issue in regards to that way, but the keeping them interested has been challenging somewhat. So long answer, I know, but we'll only know probably tonight once we know the outcome if there is a certain date of the interest. But what I can gather is the boys are pretty keen to go. They just need to hear a date first.
And Dom, just to let you know, this morning I was out swimming at an outdoor pool in Geelong. They've reopened, and obviously the gyms will start to reopen in a few weeks. So are the guys within the Torquay environment, are they happy that some of these aquatic facilities and perhaps the gyms are starting to reopen? You might have to book, but, different types of training with that being in mind.
Yeah, look, we had to hire out our own gym equipment and borrow and scrap and scrape what we could. But I know certainly there's a number of them that just need to get their energy out in some way. But, we've seen some changes in recent weeks in regards to how many we can train with, and that's certainly got the arousal levels back up again. But, every day brings another challenge in it, and hopefully the community or the football community, I should say, are following all the right protocols so we can get back on the park.
Go for it, Bucket.
Dom, can I ask you about the activity of the young players? Do you have you've got to pass a temperature test and things like that, or 37.2? Is there any control on that at all?
No, there isn't as such. It's basically you've got to train in a reduced group. At the moment, it's groups of 20. And if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling just a little bit off, you're encouraged not to come to training. We've got to take a list of who was at that training on that particular night and date it to report back if there is any illness. So then, you can see where that player has then been and how many people may be affected. But it's pretty basic. I think a lot of people got confused by it all, and there's a little bit too much for everyone. In saying that, we've shied away from it. We've just continued to train in smaller groups just so it's more manageable. So there haven't been as such sanctions training.
The other thing about training in groups and everything like that, from my experience over many, many years, all the young kids who take part in those sort of things, they all love a contest, don't they?
Well, that's it, and that's been challenging us. We've had to keep that 1.5 distance, and at the coaching group, it's been challenging to do that and think of drills because all you want to do is compete and get that competitive bug out. But it's made us think a little bit more simpler and go back to the fundamentals of the basic drills and the basic skills of football, which will no doubt get tested if the season kicks off, because I know, speaking on behalf of the Torquay Footy Club, that the boys haven't been touching the football as much as they should be, and there'll be a certain cram session once we're allowed to play.
The other thing I'll ask you, like in recent times, you got Brown, from the Brisbane Lions, Hodge, from the Hawthorn Football Club, and Lewis, also from the Hawthorn Football Club. Yeah, aren't they great examples to follow in football? You see any young guy coming through who's got those assets that those guys had? Well, I think you've got a beauty.
You just mentioned two of the great Southwest boys in Hodge and Lewis. I think you could throw Jonathan Brown in there as well. And, great examples of who to follow. And I think they all speak brilliantly about the game. And I find myself, whenever they're on the radio or TV, you do switch in and you listen up a little bit because of them.
Dom, you were actually quoted in the with K-Rock Footy, but also you mentioned in the papers as well about there was, the flagging the prospect of cutting quarters and extending interchange benches.
Yep.
Is that sort of? Do you think? Are you concerned perhaps that there might be, if we did get a season restart, because we've been in this holding pattern for a while, that maybe that might be the rate of soft tissue injury might increase?
Oh, there's no doubt. That's certainly a concern of us as coaches. You can do all the running you like. I know guys have been training and running for long distances, but it's not game sense. And I know full well at my age I'll be having to, I suppose, rejuvenate the old muscles and make sure that I'm ready. And I think you expect some soft tissue, and that's hence why I did suggest a bigger bench, so you're coming off and getting a rest and just giving more of an opportunity to players to play. But that opens up. I think the salary cap will speak for itself. I think there won't be one. Then in regards to the points, I think that'll have to be increased as well. But there are just some ideas that I sort of come up with off the back of what the AFL was throwing around. And I think you could possibly play some more games if the quarters were just capped at no overtime, and could potentially play some midweek games, and maybe having 6 to 8 on the bench might be hard to manage, but at least then you could get, some more games out, and then, I think then it wouldn't have as much of an asterisk against the season.
Yeah, I wanted to get your quick thoughts on two other things: recruiting and junior footy in the region. I mean, we talk about, when we've had you on this program, we've talked about, like the amount of the growth in the Torquay area, and I've been involved with the junior club on the Ballerine and being a sponsor. It's the second biggest, and obviously the Torquay region itself is so big for junior football. But how do you go about with this potential shortened season with recruiting? Does it go out the window? And what happens with the junior footy side?
Look, the junior football side, hopefully, I think as of tonight, all our juniors will start at Torquay, where I'm coaching my little boys under 9 side. And so we start tonight, which we're really excited about. And I think the junior football will get off the ground. I know full well that even at the schools they're kicking, and I don't think there's much tackling going on, but they're certainly in the school classroom close together. So I reckon junior football will go ahead. It's probably just the senior football, and keeping the parents away from the junior football as best we can. I think that's where the protocols come in. So in regards to recruiting, I think there might be a bit of a standstill. Although guys will get a year older, I still feel like the majority of players that will recommit to the clubs they've already committed to for 2020, 2021. So I can't see a lot of movement. The only movement we'll probably see down our way is if people were planning to move down to Torquay. So that puts extra pressure on our points and our salary cap as well, because it's pretty hard to say no to a player who wants to buy into community, and then they're not going to very well play at another Ballerine club purely because they feel they want to play for Torquay. So it's just, I suppose, some teething issues they're going to have as a AFL Barwon committee. But a lot of challenges ahead, I think.
Absolutely.
Oh, Dominic, how's the female, the girls' football going? Is that going along okay?
Yeah, it is. Tim Humphrey's doing a wonderful job with the senior side of things. The junior programs coming along pretty well. I think the seniors start this week as well, but like us, they're just waiting for a date to recommence. So, yeah, it's getting stronger and stronger. We knew it was always going to take more than 12 months to become more competitive, but I think the appetite's there, and we did a couple of joint sessions over the pre-season, and they're not struggling for numbers, certainly at a senior level. So, looking forward to see what they can build over the next, 4 to 5 years, because it's a great little catchment, Torquay, and we've got some representatives in the Geelong Football Club program and the Falcons program. So I think it's going to become stronger and stronger.
Can I just ask quickly get in a question, Dom, just in terms of, you mentioned that people want to get out there and play. I've heard some people say, I'll just bin the season because it's going to be a Mickey Mouse season, or it won't mean as much winning the premiership. What do you say to that argument? Is that a valid point, or do you think just get out there and play and the premiership will still mean something and we all just want to get back to football?
Yeah, it's something that I've thought long and hard about. And for those naysayers that suggest that it might have an asterisk against the season, I find it the most probably challenging year of football to win a premiership. And I think it'll be, it's been hard to manage to this point, to keep yourself fit and ready to go to this point. And I'd challenge our playing group, if you're ever going to win one, why not win one in the most challenging year of football? It'll always be remembered. Yes, there might be lesser games, but they're so hard to win. I've played God knows how many senior years of football, and I'm just with a friend of mine now, and we've lost a couple together. So, and we've won one together. So it's really challenging to win one. So if I was to win one at the end of this year, I'd be more than content. And I'd challenge anyone to suggest that to their playing group. But in saying all of this, we have to be guided by AFL Victoria and AFL Barwon, and we'll certainly listen to that. I'm looking forward to their outcome tonight, because we don't want any clubs falling by the wayside and not being able to recommence in 2021 because of maybe finance or being pushed to the brink. So we want to do it the right way, and we don't want to lose any football clubs on the back of it.
Well, thanks, Dom, for joining us on Mitchell's Front Page and the Monday Sports Panel. I think you've got a whole range of views and some fantastic insights into, what happens off the field, but also within a club environment, and particularly Torquay, which is a major club in the Ballarat Football League. And obviously the setup down there is pretty impressive as well. So thanks for joining us on the program, and hopefully next time we speak, we'll have a resumed season.
Thanks, Dom.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Buckets, Mark and Mitchell. It's been always been good, and thanks for your support of Torquay and the Ballarat Footy League.
No worries. Well, that was really interesting, I thought, from Dom. Lots of insights there. I was really keen to know at the start of the program, what's the mood like? And, of course, he's able to give us the insights as to how the players are feeling, but also how the coaching staff are feeling. And then he even gave us some insights into the junior league as well.